Going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well, feeling great, and enjoying freedom. It's a great day to have a great day. It's also a great day to talk about some silver. In today's video, I wanted to talk a little bit about my silver stacking journey, which started in 2017. Now I'm going to be speed running through the first 50% or maybe even 75% because I've told that story before. But I do want to talk about why a few years ago I slowed down on how much silver I was stacking and very recently stopped stacking altogether temporarily, and why I'm diving back in. We're going to get into it, but really quick, just in case you're new, make sure to subscribe for a bunch of videos. Subscribe to my second channel for bonus videos and follow me on social media at Mykie DYDSS across all platforms. And 3 quick things before we fully dive into the video. Number 1, if you haven't already, try you out some Celsius Energy. That's right, it's a healthier alternative to the other energy drinks out there. You can get a 12-pack variety pack on Amazon right now. I will leave an affiliate link in the description. It's right here. Brand new flavor. Also my new #1 favorite flavor of all time. Oh my god, it's so good. 2, if you haven't already started investing and you would like to, make sure to download Webull and fund your account. They're going to give you some free stocks just for doing so, and they make it really simple for new investors to start investing because of how easy it is to navigate around on their app. Webull link in the description. 3rd and finally, if you need any silver or gold stacking supplies like airtight tubes and capsules, anti-tarnish paper, mini lockboxes, safes, microscopes, the list goes on. Any and all silver and gold stacking supplies will be linked in the description for your convenience. Alright, so in today's video, I want to talk about my personal silver stacking journey. Now, like I said, the first 50 to 75% of the story, I'm going to speed run through. So first things first, I started stacking silver in 2017. I learned about it in probably 2016, potentially 15. A childhood friend of mine. Grew up with the guy. He moved out of state, went our separate ways, reconnected sometime after high school, and he told me that he was buying silver. Every time he gets a paycheck, every week on payday, he goes and gets himself 2 silver coins. And it was his way of saving money in what he considered to be a much more intelligent way. And at the time, this was the first time I had ever heard of the silver stacking concept, so I didn't really fully understand. It didn't really click, didn't register just yet. And for whatever reason, late 2017, probably around November, I thought about it for some reason. Something happened, don't remember what it was, but it jogged my memory. And it reminded me of the conversation that this guy and I had regarding silver. So I went and I did a little bit of research. I have no idea what reminded me, but something did. And thank God that happened, because I ended up reading a bunch of articles, watching a bunch of videos, and doing a whole bunch of research. And I decided for myself in December of 2017 that I'm in. I went to the local coin shop. I got myself my very first silver coin, or should I say silver round, but I was so uneducated at the time I was calling it a coin because I didn't know there was a difference. So that was December of 2017. I went back probably a couple days later and I got a little bit more, and then I started ordering a little bit of silver online, go back to the coin shop, get a little bit more, moved into 2018, and I spent that entire year, because spot price went from $17-ish all the way down to $14. I spent that entire year stacking as aggressively as possible. A bunch of generic silver rounds, a bunch of American Eagles, and a bunch of Maple Leafs. That was my main priority at the time. Moving into 2019, my strategy stayed about the same. I was predominantly focusing on Silver Eagles. That was the foundation of my stack and still is the foundation of my stack, and I was getting more Silver Eagles. I was probably getting like 3, 4, 5 Silver Eagles for every 1 Maple Leaf or 1 generic round. I was getting mostly Silver Eagles the entire year of 2019 this was. Moving into 2020, I think we all know what happened in 2020. Everything got flipped upside down. Small business, or businesses in general, were forced to close. Online precious metal dealing websites really cranked up their premiums, and everything got really thrown off. So based on my inability to hit the local coin shop, I was ordering more silver online than I ordinarily would, because hashtag support your local coin shop. support small businesses, shop local, coin shop or not, support small businesses. But didn't have that ability at the time. So I was ordering silver online, and because these online precious metal dealers were kind enough to crank their premiums up through the roof, I figured, you know what, Silver Eagles might not be the move right now. And Canadian Maple Leafs were cheaper, the premiums were lower, generic rounds were also lower, but I had noticed at the time that 90% junk constitutional silver, I'm talking about the pre-65. Hear that sound right there? That's real money you're hearing. Pre-65, quarters, dimes, and half dollars. I had noticed in early 2020, when the premiums on silver in general were through the roof, 90% silver wasn't that bad. Premiums were still kind of roughly around where they were before the crash. And I was like, these seem to be off the radar. So I shifted my focus to pretty much almost exclusively stacking 90%, and that's how I was kind of keeping the train moving. And I did pick up a couple of random pieces that year. I'm pretty sure that's when I got the bull bar right here, the 10-ounce bull bar. I got the Kraken that year and a couple other random pieces, but for the most part, it was 90% silver. 2021, it was the same thing. Pretty much nothing but 90% silver, and from time to time, if I found something that looked cool or I found something that was interesting and I wanted to get my hands on it, guess what? I would get it. But toward the end of 2021, maybe early 2022, somewhere within that time frame, I decided to scale back on stacking in a big way. I continued to add to the stack, but I was stacking minimally. And the reason for this is because right around the time that the big giant crash happened, that's when I also started to invest. And I personally noticed a much bigger, much more generous opportunity, so I started to invest as well. And from late 2019, when I started investing, to aggressively investing in 2020 and all of 2021, I saw quite a bit of success. So that became my number one focus at the time, and the spot price of silver had been moving up and the premiums were still sky high. I was like, you know what? Silver's just really expensive right now. And it wasn't really expensive, but I couldn't really justify the premiums, but I didn't want to stop stacking. So I just slowed it down. I continued aggressively investing, building wealth for myself so that later on down the road, I can utilize silver and gold to preserve the wealth that I had built. Because prior to this, I realized, you know what? I'm a really young guy. I don't have a whole lot of wealth to preserve just yet, which is what silver, coincidentally, is for. It's for wealth preservation. But if there's no wealth to preserve, you might want to build something for yourself first. So that's why I scaled back initially. Premiums were really high, and I was focused on a different area of finance. Financial offense rather than financial defense. So I slowed down, and I kept it slow. I kept it moving, but slowly, minimally stacking. 2022, 23, 24, and into 2025. However, 1 month ago, or a little over a month ago, I stopped. And the reason for this was because I, unfortunately, was injured at work. Got hurt at work. Actually, it's been exactly a month. For the last 4 weeks, I've been out of work with an injury. Now, for those of you that don't know, I work a lot. I work 70 hours a week on a light week. I have 2 jobs. I have a full-time job, so obviously there's my 40 hours right there, but I work a full day of overtime every single week. In the last 52 weeks, or scratch that because this month shouldn't count, all of last year in 2024, out of those 52 weeks, I did a full day of overtime 49 or 50 weeks out of those 52. There were 2 days, or 2 overtime days that I didn't take, but point being is that I work a full-time job plus overtime every single week. And at night, 3-4 nights a week, I have a second job. I've been out of both. Now, fortunately for me, workman's comp has been covering 70% of lost wages at the full-time job. The unfortunate side of things is that they don't cover lost wages at the job that you didn't get hurt at. So I'm getting 70% from one and 0% from the other. I've been out of both jobs for exactly a month. Another good thing about workers' compensation is that they cover all of the medical expenses. And thank God for that, because I wouldn't even want to imagine what that grand total bill would look like between multiple emergency rooms, multiple urgent care visits, multiple different types of doctors and specialists and MRIs and x-rays and this and that and this and that. They covered all of that. Thank God. The unfortunate side of things is that when a doctor orders an MRI and refers you to another doctor, you can't just go ahead and do those two things. First, workers' comp needs to approve of it, which if the doctor ordered it, they will approve, but they still need to approve. And from there, they are in charge of picking locations and facilities and whatnot that it's of their choosing, and they schedule it. So instead of going from step 1 to 2 to 3, with workers' comp involved, it's 1 to 1.5 to 2 to 2.5 to 3 to 3.5 to 4, etc., etc., etc. So it takes a little bit longer, which is why some of this may have gotten a little bit... Well, I might explain the delay. Anyway, it's been an entire month. And I got the phone call. I am not only cleared, approved, green-lighted to go back in 2 days from now. But I'm excited to. I am ready to. But because of the out-of-work status, the agonizing pain, and medically not allowed to drive, I cut back on absolutely everything. I stopped stacking silver entirely, and the last time I ordered silver or picked up any silver was well over a month ago. I hadn't gotten around to the local coin shop recently, even before the injury. I hadn't got to the local coin shop, I hadn't ordered any silver online, and then boom, an injury happens, and all of a sudden my income goes... basically tanks. Basically gets cut in half. Because if I'm only getting 70% from my main job, think about it. 70% of just one job. For a lot of people, that might be okay. Not for the people that work 2 jobs. That's actually like probably closer to 50% of how much I would ordinarily make in a week. So to play it safe, I cut back on absolutely everything. I stopped stacking. Decided, hey, you know what? Let me get through this. When I get back to work, gonna have to give myself a couple weeks to financially recover and get back to where I was before any of this happened. And from that point moving forward, I'm gonna get back to silver. And I don't think I'm gonna be getting back to silver on a minimal status like I was doing. I think I'm gonna pick up the pace a little bit. And I do have, right to the side of me, right over here, it's on a post-it note, I have myself a to-stack list. Not a to-do list, it's a to-stack list. And there are a couple of interesting pieces on there. So what you're looking at on screen right here, let me just give you a quick little rundown of what we got going on. We got a little tube of 10th ounce and quarter ounce gold coins. Again, if you need any airtight tubes of any size or airtight capsules for your coins, your rounds, your bars, that will be linked in the description. We have a tube of silver rounds right here. We have some Queen's Beasts, the American flag bar, a kangaroo, a Type 1, Type 2 Silver Eagle, a Maple Leaf, a half-ounce Sunshine round, a 10-ounce Silver Bull bar. we got the Creatures of the North right here, and I'll be coming back to these guys in just one moment. 5-ounce Sunshine Bar, 10-ounce Sunshine Bar, 2-ounce Monarch Bar, 3-ounce Monarch Bar, and a bag of Type 2 Silver Eagles. And of course we have a Westminster Mint Bar and some 90%. That's what we have on display today. So, first thing that I wanted to mention, and I'm going to keep it a little bit vague because I kind of want the element of surprise to be involved as well. But these Creatures of the North coins right here, we got the Kraken 2020 and we got the Werewolf 2021. 2022 rolled around and we were waiting. We were anticipating. What's the third one going to be? Then all of a sudden, 2022 turned into 2023. Still no word from the Royal Canadian Mint. What's going on? Where's the Creatures of the North? I thought we were getting one every year for however long that they were going to do it for. Only 2? Where's the third? 2023 rolled around. Still nothing. 2024, still nothing. Here we are in 2025. Still no word. To my understanding, they never made an announcement about it. But I think it's safe to say the series has been scrapped. For reasons that we may never know. But to be honest with you, it really makes no sense because, like, these are such, I don't know, it was just such an incredible concept. I mean, the Kraken, I mean, look at that right there. Look how much detail. Look at the art that went into this. It's just such a beautiful coin. Same with this one right here, the Werewolf. You got the woods in the background. You got the full moon back there. It's just such a beautiful, gorgeous coin. Both of them. And man, we were talking about it for years. We were talking about, like, what's going on? Where is it? Where is it? We need a third. We need a third. You can't tell me that there wasn't a demand for it. Because I didn't find one person in all those years say, good, I'm glad they scrapped it. That series sucked. No, everyone wanted the third. And, hey, by the way, side note here, leave a comment in the comments. If the Royal Canadian Mint gave you a call right now and said, hey, Stacker, we're going to bring that series back. You get to pick the third design. What would it be? Now, there's no, I don't know if it was supposed to be like mythical creatures or what, but you get to pick the third design. If they gave me the call, I would probably say the Yeti or something like that. I think a Yeti coin would have been sick. But let me know what your idea would be down in the comments. Anyway, getting back on track here. This series right here, my favorite series of all time. And this coin, this one in particular, the Kraken, I think it's safe to say this is my favorite coin that I own. I love this coin. It's just an incredible design. I love it. Love everything about it. It's my favorite piece of silver that's in my possession. That being said, being that the series was, I guess, discontinued, we gotta accept that and move on, whatever, no big deal. I found another series that kind of looks as though it could fall in line with this series. They put out 2 so far with a third one on the way. Again, to my understanding, Royal Canadian Mint, please, for the love of God, don't do it to me twice. But they put out 2 so far. I believe I think 2023 was the first one. 2024 was the second one. 2025, fingers crossed, they're going to be putting out a third one. I see no reason why they would scrap a whole nother series. It's not the same series, but the 2 designs that they picked for the 2 coins that they've released so far kind of, to a certain degree, look like they could be the 3rd and 4th of this series. It's a different series, a very different series, but it's like the cousin series, if that makes sense. Again, I want to keep it vague because I want the element of surprise to be involved, because guess what? Those coins right there are on my to stack list. The to stack list that I was just talking about. That's why I went on the little tangent right there. Those 2 coins are on my to stack list, and assuming that they put out a third one this year, that will also be on my to stack list. I will 1000% be getting those. Those are on my to stack list. Another thing on my to stack list. See these poured silver bars, the silver brick, and then the silver tombstone looking bar right here? This is a 2 ounce, this is a 3 ounce. If memory serves me right, there's also a 5 ounce. I know there's a 10 ounce, but I'm pretty sure there's a 5 ounce as well. That 5 ounce, if it exists, which from what I remember it does, that's on my to stack list as well. The 5 ounce version of this. Looks really cool. Something else I want to get. After saying many, many times, especially early on when I had first started stacking, the first year or two, maybe 3 years of stacking, I put out plenty of videos back then saying, the pros and cons of stacking silver kilo bars, which I do not own any. And in some of those old videos, I mentioned how I don't think I'll ever get a silver kilo bar. I'm personally against them just because I like to have smaller denominations, like like up to 10 ounce increments of silver. Anything beyond that might be a little bit difficult to liquidate if need be. That's the con right there. The pro would be you really break down the premiums and you get a better bang for your buck by getting a larger piece of silver. Point being is that I went years and years and years being like, yeah, silver kilo bars are awesome. Not for me. Guess what? One of those are on my to stack list. I want to get a silver kilo bar. It's almost like a silver stacking bucket list thing. It's like, I can't really see myself getting a bunch of kilo bars, but I definitely want to get one. I definitely, absolutely want to get one. And that's on my to stack list as well. So the cousin series, or what I'm considering the cousin series of these two coins right here, the Creatures of the North, I will be getting the 2 and hopefully 3 if the third one comes out this year. Those are on my to stack list. The 5-ounce version of this poured silver Monarch bar, that's on my to stack list, and a silver kilo bar on my to stack list as well. In addition to that, because those couple pieces are more so just for fun, more so just because I'm excited about stacking silver again. Those couple pieces, something different, something unique, something I don't already have. In addition to that, something else that I want to do is I just want to get some silver buffalo rounds, some more. I have a bunch as it is, and I want to just get, once I get myself back on track, once I get back to work, 2 days away from getting back to work, both jobs back to work. Plus, I'm running 2 little side hustle businesses right now as well. That's kind of what I've been working on while I've been out on my leave of absence. I've been working on 2 little side hustles. So when I get back to work in 2 days, I'm going to keep those side hustles going, obviously. And I'm going to have to give myself a couple of weeks, maybe a month, to get myself back on track. I'm going to spend the entire month of April rebuilding and getting myself situated again. Also have, physical therapy 3 days a week, every week for the next couple of weeks. So I'm going to have to, April's going to be a very busy month for me. But I'm going to be rebuilding, restructuring, re-strategizing, and getting myself back to where I was, and then in a better financial position than I was before I got hurt. So it's going to take me a couple weeks, maybe a month, to rebuild, get myself back on track. And when I do get back on track, I want to check those things off of my to stack list. But something else that I want to do is I want to get, a couple silver buffalo rounds every week or every other week. Just a couple, just a handful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just a couple. Just a few. Every week. Every week. And let them stack. Stack those buffaloes to the ceiling. That's a plan of mine. So that's probably something that I'm going to start doing probably in May. That's probably when I'm going to do that. And slow and steady wins the race. I am not, even when I get back to work and when I get myself back on track, I will not be in the financial position. I was never in the financial position to get tremendous amounts of silver at a time. I've never been able to do that. I don't make an absurd amount of money. Yeah, I work 2 jobs. But it's not like I can go and get myself 100 ounces of silver just because I feel like it. Get a little bit at a time. 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe up to 10 ounces at a time. Little by little is how we stack. Most of us, anyway. And that's basically the plan. And that's why I was kind of forced to stop buying silver for the last month. I have not been able to do it. And reason for that is just because I have not been making the money that I was making for the last year and a half. Haven't been able to do it. Haven't been able to swing it. My second job, all of a sudden, went to 0 hours a week. My full-time job, all of a sudden, went to 0 hours a week and was only getting 70% reimbursed for lost wages. So, income went down. It is what it is. Got to do what you got to do. Got to recover. No job or no amount of money is worth physical pain or an illness. Health is wealth at the end of the day. So, in an attempt to feel better, in an attempt to get myself back on track physically and heal and recover, thankfully no surgery, that's number one priority. Priority numero uno. Priority two is the financial side of things. So unfortunately, it is what it is. Got to take a step back, got to take a step away. And by the way, that went for investing as well. And it's been killing me because the market's been down. I was telling my friend about this. I was like, good God. I told him, I was like, man, I'm only getting 70%. And he said, hey, yeah, but you don't have to work. And I was like, yeah, but the market's down. We've been seeing a lot of red. I could have been buying a whole lot of wealth, future millions of dollars I could have been purchasing. No, it is what it is. It is what it is, and it's not what it's not. I learned that from my friend's father when I was a kid. It is what it is, and it's not what it's not. So anyway, coming around full circle here, that's why I stopped stacking. That's why the financial train came to an abrupt halt. But guess what? We're getting back on the train tracks, and we're getting moving, starting again in 2 days. And I can't wait. I'm excited. I'm pumped to be back. I'm still not 100%. I'm on light duty, but guess what? 100% of my money rather than 70% of my money. And 100% of my second job money rather than 0%. So we're getting back on track. It's going to take me a couple more weeks to finish physically recovering, but also to financially recover from the burden that was the last month. And then from then on out, we're going to get back to aggressively, or at least slightly more aggressively, stacking that silver. I'm excited. I can't wait. I want to know what is on your to stack list. Let me know in the comments. What is the next piece of silver on your to stack list, or the next piece of gold on your to stack list? I'd love to know. So let me know in the comments. If you guys liked today's video, please hit that like button, subscribe. If you're new, subscribe to my second channel for bonus videos, and follow me on social media at Mykie DYDSS across all platforms. And of course, the big three as we get ready to wrap up the video. Number one, if you haven't already, try you out some Celsius Energy. That's right. It's a healthier alternative to the other energy drinks out there. You can get a 12-pack variety pack on Amazon right now. I believe an affiliate link in the description so you can try out the different flavors, see which one you like. This one right here, best flavor ever. Playa Vibe, Pina Colada, Pineapple Coconut Tropical flavor. My God! Affiliate link in the description. 2, if you haven't already started investing and you would like to, make sure to download Webull and fund your account. They're going to give you some free stocks just for doing so, and they make it really simple for new investors to start their investing journey because of how easy it is to navigate around on their app. Webull link in the description. 3rd and finally, if you need any silver or gold stacking supplies, whether it be airtight tubes and capsules for fractional gold, or 1-ounce silver coins or rounds, or even bars, if you need any anti-tarnish paper, if you need a mini lockbox or a safe or a microscope, the list goes on. Any and all silver and gold stacking supplies will be linked in the description for your convenience. And once again, I want you guys to let me know in the comments, what's on your to stack list? I'm not talking about like the regular silver, the lowest possible premium, just so you can get your hands on as much silver as you possibly can, the best bang for your buck type of stuff. I'm talking about something a little bit more interesting or unique. Are there any coins, rounds, or bars out there that you have your eye on? Something that just really looks cool, something that just really stands out. Something that really just like, aside from the rest, this one is the one that like, man, I need to get one of those. I don't want it, I need it. One of those. What's on your to stack list? What is something that's potentially out of the ordinary that you would regularly buy? Like for me, 90% silver is like my go-to. And generic silver rounds. Those are my go-to because they have lower premiums than silver eagles, maples, government minted coins, etc. Pure silver coins. But my to stack list has a couple of really interesting pieces on it that I am especially excited about. And I want to know what's on yours. What's on your to stack list? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next one. Don't you dare stop smiling. Peace.